Hello, everyone. Greetings from Cork, Ireland. We are here in the beautiful River Lee Hotel. We are on day 4, and it has been absolutely a beautiful trip here in Ireland. And I am with
Paddy Holman.
Patty. Great to see you. We have had just a fabulous journey, and we've been in multiple places. We began our trip in the Wicklow Mountains at the beautiful Powers Court Gardens in Ireland, and we proceeded to a monastery which dates back to the 6th century, and then visit the Curragmore House, which has 800 years of history. Patty, it's amazing, especially as we visited the Charles Fort today, the depth and width of history here in Ireland.
Well, Jay, isn't it absolutely amazing? And when you look back on, the age of America, in fact, the age of Plymouth Place, and you come over to Europe and you see, the length. I mean, Sean's Bar, the oldest bar in Ireland, is about 1,000 years old, give or take. So we got a ways to go yet, don't we?
We do. And it was amazing today to meet the lords and ladies of the castle and learn today also about the Charles Fort, which dates back to the early 1600s. And Patty, there's been just an incredible amount of fight for independence in Ireland. Matter of fact, you sang about that in the I Am Ireland PBS show.
I did, first of all, we miss everyone back at Plymouth Place. That's why we're doing this podcast, because we want to bring you all on this journey as well. And, when you come to Plymouth Place, there's so many amazing opportunities to get involved for lifelong learning, for creative possibilities. And coming over to Ireland, it's just been a joy, really, for me personally, to come back as a tourist in one's own country and to learn about your history, and you pick up different nuggets of information. I must say, when I wrote the PBS show in Ireland and knowing the musical impact of these songs and stories, but to be present with Lord and Lady Waterford, and I must say, the lords of the past might have had a bad reputation, but I got to give this particular ninth Lord of Waterford, he was so kind, and the family were so kind to the local people in feeding them during the famine and the locality that nobody starved. Wasn't that amazing?
It was amazing.
And just to sit back there, and it talks about the value of community, people coming together. And I just thought that was pretty astounding, actually.
I had the opportunity to talk to Lady Waterford. She was certainly a true servant leader, something I appreciate so much at Plymouth with our leaders back home who make such a big difference. Patty, the music here has been just incredible. We have heard the Irish fiddle, the accordion, the flute, and the Irish harp. It was absolutely beautiful. Now, you know some of these musicians, is that correct?
I would know a lot of them, actually, yeah. And, a lot of them passed through Chicago. And, a lot of them, we just get to know them when we're on the road. And it's so nice, actually, because when I think about these particular trips, not only do we have amazing culinary and educational experiences, but we actually open up the door to a lot of musicians that you would not normally meet. It's almost like a farm to table in music, if you think about it. And they've been so proud, really, to represent their local county, their local parish, as they share the stories and music of their people.
Absolutely, and getting to know the musicians personally, what a wonderful group. And tomorrow, we are headed to Killarney. What's happening in Killarney?
Well, I can tell you, Jay, we're going to be keeping a good eye on you.
It's been fun, yes.
Now, Jay and I like to tease each other, of course, but I must say, we're going to be staying in the fabulous Dunlow Hotel. And it's just a beautiful place. We're going to be going to the Gap of Dunlow. We're going to be going out around the Ring of Kerry. And we're actually going to go over to the Dingle Peninsula. We're going to be visiting the Blasket Island there, Blasket Island Centre, the interpretive centre. And we have lined up the most amazing musicians. In fact, Eilish Nichineda, as she's known locally, she's going to be appearing with Jerry O'Byrne to give a special concert.
And tonight at the Riverly Hotel, we have a gentleman who will be performing. Patty, who is he?
His name is Sean O'Driscoll, and in fact, Larry Nugent is also going to be performing along with Jimmy Moore. Now, residents may recognize Donal, who has been in the bar, and he's done a great job this summer. That's Larry's son. And Larry happens to be out around here, and it's so nice to have that connection with Plymouth. So Larry is really one of the best flute players in America, and he's known worldwide. He's like the Sammy Davis Jr. of the flute and tin whistle. He's so popular. There's something that went viral with Larry not too long ago. He was in a pub up the north of Ireland, and he played the tin whistle, 2 tin whistles at the one time. And it just was probably shared about 100,000 times. It's just
wow, that's
incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly good to get to know here as we wrap up this podcast the history and the depth and width of the passion of the Irish people, and certainly the music quality and excellence, as well as the culinary experience. And it reminds me back home of Sherry Boblis and the team that just did a beautiful job, as well as Jim Dewan, who's organized the music, and with yourself, Patty. Thank you. You've just done a phenomenal job, because this is all about the experience and really excellence as we launch Travel by Plymouth Place, which is all about exemplary living for exemplary travel.
And I will say we've been having a lot of fun, haven't we?
Absolutely.
And it's been a delight. Now, sticking with fun, we're going to finish out with this little nice song. It's called Stick to the Crater, and it's with Jimmy Keane, Mick Maloney, and Robbie O'Connell. It's taken from a past the Greenfields of America concert that was actually done in 1988. It goes something like this. We will be back again with the next podcast as we share it with all of you. Hello to everyone back at Plymouth. Hello to all of our staff. We're having just a great time. Isn't it a delight to see people wrapped around Plymouth just having a great time, learning about history, taking full advantage of all the opportunities that there is to be. And, when you step back from it all, it's all about living in the moment, and enjoying it. So we're going to finish out with this. It's called Stick to the Crater.
Thank you, everybody.
Types of drinking songs in Ireland. They're the ones that are written the morning after. And you probably don't want to hear one of those. And they're the ones that are written the same night as the stuff is being consumed. And in fact, most of those songs are written about the homemade variety of whiskey in Ireland. Stuff most commonly known as poitín, but it goes by a number of different names. It's also known as the crater, or the drop, or the stuff, or itself, or the pure, and about 50 million other names. And there's one wonderful old song in praise of poitín, which is called Stick to the Crater. Let your quacks and newspapers be cutting their capers about curing the vapors, the scratch and the gout, with their medical potions, their serums and lotions, upholding their notions they're mighty put out. Who can tell the true physic to all that's pathetic, and pitch to the devil cram, colic and spleen? You'll know what I think if you take a big drink with your mouth to the brink of a jug of poitín. So stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. Oh, what botheration, no dose in the nation can give consolation like poitín, me boys. As a child in the cradle, me nurse with her ladle was filling me mouth with an ocean of pep. When a drop from the bottle fell into me throttle, I capered and scrambled clean out of her lap. On the floor I lay crawling and screaming and bawling, till me father and mother were called to the fore. All sobbing and sighing, they feared I was dying, but soon found I only was crying for more. So stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. Oh Lord, how they chuckle if babes in their truckle they only could suckle on poitín, me boys. Through my youthful aggression and times of depression, my childhood impression still clung to my mind. And at school or at college, the basis of knowledge I never could gulp till with whiskey combined. And as older I'm growing, time's ever bestowing on Aaron's potation a flavour so fine. And where they may lecture on Jove and his nectar, itself is the only true liquid divine. So stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. Oh Lord, 'tis the right thing for courting and fighting. There's naught so exciting as putching me boys. Come, guess me this riddle. What beats pipes and fiddle? What's hotter than mustard and milder than cream? What best wets your whistle? What's clearer than crystal? What's sweeter than honey and stronger than steam? What'll make the lame walk? What'll make the dumb talk? The elixir of life and philosopher's stone. And what helped Mr. Brunel to dig the Thames tunnel? Sure wasn't it poteen from Aldinishone? So stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. Oh Lord, 'tis no wonder if lightning and thunder weren't made from the plunder of Putcheen me boys. Now, ye maidens pathetic with lovers athletic, for liquid cosmetic you can't beat the drop. With the glow to your cheek it'll make your heart leap. It would quieten a stallion or cure an old cob. From the mouth you would drool, be reduced to a fool. You'd kick up your heels and you'd peel to the buff. And 'tis you'd be athletic while he'd be pathetic, if only you'd take a few drops of the stuff. So stick to the crater, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. For there's nothing like whiskey to make maidens free.